Hi guys, it's Arya. I'm sick, so you're going to be seeing me sip some tea. It's pretty basic tea, just mint tea. Um, I wanted to do a sit down with you guys and explain what has been going on in my life, starting at the beginning of the year, because I know that we are in 9 months into 2020, but it has been non-stop, one crisis after another for my family. And I know um, into February is when I started really uploading quite a bit of content, and I was doing it once a week. It was supposed to be every Sunday, and I kept to that schedule for quite a while. But during that time, lots of stuff happened. And so I just kind of want to go over that because I'm not keeping to that every Sunday schedule anymore. I just can't. Mentally, physically, I have a lot of chronic pain, and I can't keep up with that, especially with everything else that is going on in my life. Um, So I just thought I'd kind of go over that, and I wanted to start at the beginning of the year. Um, like most of you, 2020 was supposed to be the year that everything went my family's way. In the fact being that we weren't going to have a ton of crises. We had trips planned to see family. We had things planned that we wanted to do with our kids. Um, learning and real world life experience type stuff that we had planned. And January hit, and that just kind of went out the window. So in January, one of our kiddos started having some really serious mental health issues. And we put them on a psych hold at our local hospital, and it was determined that they needed to be taken to a psychiatric hospital because there is only two psychiatric facilities in the whole of Oregon for children. We had to wait for a spot to open, and they were finally sent there, and they were there for 3 weeks. We were super lucky in the fact that the Ronald McDonald House was able to house us so that we could be close to our kiddo and visit them daily to help with their progress. During that time, my husband, his seizures were getting progressively worse. So I was having to deal with increased seizures and mental health stuff for our kiddo. They were finally able to come home at the beginning of February. And that, of course, during that whole time, I'm like, I really want to shave my head. I want to shave my head. I think it'd be good mental health for me, shedding off the old, starting over. So I shaved my head as soon as we got home. We got home really late. I went into the bathroom and I shaved my head. Crazy, I know, but it felt like the only thing that I can control at that time. And I did, and I loved it. I'm going to put some pictures so you can see. Loved it. I loved my head shaved. It was amazing. If you haven't done it and want to do it, do it. The grow out is a pain in the butt. I hate the grow out. But it was a really good experience, and I enjoyed it. And as a matter of fact, I kind of want to go back to it, but I think that's because of the stress that I'm under now. in February, our kiddo was getting the help that they needed, psychiatrist, counselor. Of course, we couldn't find local stuff, so we had to go outside of the area to get that stuff. And as a matter of fact, their psychiatrist doesn't even live in this state. They live clear across the country, and it's all via telehealth. It's insane, it's crazy, and let me tell you, it was something that I didn't really think about when we moved from Idaho to here. I thought that Oregon would be a good move, and overall it has been, but when it comes to mental health, we have really had to struggle to get the care that they need, but we've got it all sorted out now. Yay. So yeah, February, my husband's seizures were just like going out of control, and there were some med changes, and that made things 10 times worse. March rolls around and coronavirus hits. And, you know, for February and March and part of April, because his seizures were so bad, we spent most of that time upstairs in our room. I'm so glad that our room is set up the way that it is, that there's a bathroom, there's a bathtub, we've got a space for his recliner, we have a TV. We're pretty lucky in the fact that we had all that stuff already set up. And so we kind of just used our room as basically a little hotel room. If the kids needed anything, they came to us. I would leave and go take care of whatever they needed. But those months were kind of hard. The end of April, beginning of May, and into June, our kid had more mental health issues, along with one of our other kids started having super bad anxiety issues, and we had to deal with those. Also in March, the whole of Oregon, right, about a week before spring break, all schools went to online learning, no in-person stuff, which was really hard for my two girls. The boys were doing, already doing online stuff through the school that they were going through, and the girls really struggled because they didn't get their stuff for like a month. They didn't have things figured out, which is totally fine, and the oldest one was struggling, and my youngest one got packets, which I don't know if you know this, but kids don't really learn via packet. So that was like a nightmare. But we got through it, and into summertime, and then mental health issues started coming back up, and we had to make medicine changes for our kiddo that had been put in the mental hospital. The end of June, beginning of July. So in June, I was like, we need to have a doctor. We just need to have a local doctor so that if kids need to have vaccines or anything like that, it's all done. Because I've been kind of not necessarily putting it off, but it's really hard in here because of our insurance. It's a military type insurance, and not a whole lot of places around here take it. They all only take, most of them only take OHP, which is a state health insurance, which there's nothing wrong with that, but nobody takes anything else. That's why it was so difficult to find mental health, because they only take OHP, and that's not what we have. We don't qualify for that. We have too much money coming in, and we already have an insurance, so we don't qualify. So I'm like, finally got us a doctor, and they ran tests on me. I had blood work done. I haven't been to a doctor since I had my youngest. My youngest is going to be 10 this year, so I haven't been to a doctor since I had her. And I was like, I want all the blood work that needs to be done. I want to make sure that nothing serious is going on. I've been having some issues. And we got those blood tests back the end of June, beginning of July. Found out that my A1C, which determines if you've got diabetes or not, was an 11. 5 is like normal. I definitely have it. Okay. You would be thinking, oh, because she's fat, of course she's got it. No, I've been this weight for almost 10 years. And I had all this blood work done 10 years ago, and I did not have it then. So, and I had been taking care of myself for quite a while with my eating. It wasn't until my husband started having seizures that I started eating. My eating habits had changed because I went for more convenient over I didn't have time to sit and make food. So anyways, so I found out I've got diabetes and that my A1C is really high. And found out there were some issues with my liver. So an ultrasound of my liver was set up, and I had that done. And in fact, I found out that my liver is slightly enlarged, my spleen is slightly enlarged, and that my liver has some fat in it. It's slightly fatty, is what the report said. So I've got to deal with that. My thyroid is completely out of whack, and they said that is part of the reason why it's been really hard for me to lose weight. And it could be the cause of between, the way I had been eating for the last few years, that contributed to the diabetes and the issues with my liver. So she put me on some medication for that. She wanted to put me on some diabetes medication, but I'm super sensitive to medication, and I want to only do one medication at a time. So I'm just taking a medication for my thyroid. I also have anemia, which I already knew about. It's something I've dealt with my whole entire life. And I am still trying to figure out what I need to do for that, because I cannot tolerate taking iron pills or iron supplements, and my body doesn't tolerate the liquid form. So I have a juicer. It's like a slow auger juicer. I'll put a picture up. I have been doing, juicing spinach with apple and ginger and a little bit of lemon and some carrots. And that seems to be helping. It's increased my my energy level. And just so you know, like, all of these issues impact my energy, how tired I am, how much pain I am in. I've been dealing with pain my whole entire life. And I have hip issues from having the kids that I've had. I've got 4 kids. I don't know if you caught on to that. I've got 2 boys and 2 girls. And I've been pregnant 9 times. I've had to have 2 D&Cs because I was well past 20 weeks when the babies inside of me were, they passed away inside of me. And because I was over that 20 week, my body was like, nope, we're keeping this forever. So I had to have that done. The others, miscarried properly, and I didn't have to go in for those ones. So my body's gone through a lot of stuff. With that exam with the doctor, she set up a mammogram, which I had done and had to have redone because they found a lump, and had that redone and had to have an ultrasound done. And they're like, we think it's benign, but we're going to wait 6 weeks or 6 months to see if it grows. freak me out. I mean, is that like common practice to do that? I have no idea. Um, yeah, so I got sick at the end of August. Well, my son's girlfriend lives with us, and she brought this sickness into the house. And so I was getting sick. And at first it was just kind of like a little congesty. Then I started getting the sore throat. And so around the 6th, I went into the emergency room. And I've been having leg issues. Like my legs have been cramping really bad. So I was worried about blood clots. I had a really high fever and have had the high fever for a few days. The day before, I was feeling perfectly fine, and then all of a sudden, bam, throat, had all of the symptoms of COVID, so I wanted to go in and get checked. They checked me out, and they did a flu test, they did a strep test, they did an ultrasound of both my legs because they did a blood test that said that, hey, we need to do that just to make sure. They did a bunch of other things just to make sure that I didn't have anything, and all those came negative. So all I have is I have a virus, probably a flu that, they don't test for. So dealing with that. The kids started school on Monday. My youngest actually started school before, like the week before, but it got pushed back because of the fires. I don't know if you know this, but I live in Oregon on the coast, and basically my whole state is on fire, pretty much, at least the whole west side. And so their schooling got pushed back because her school is actually closer to the fires, and they lost some buildings, so they're dealing with that. And right around that same time that she had started, my kiddo with the severe mental issues and medication started having suicidal ideation and that sort of thing. And so we've been dealing with that. And on top of all of that, and finding out all of my medical issues, which when they did the lung x-ray at the emergency room for me, because they did that as well, come to find out that the small lower portion of my lung on the left side is basically dead. It doesn't inflate. And we think that happened when I got whooping cough 2 years ago that turned into bronchitis. And I wish I had known that had happened. That would be like, that's why you're still having breathing issues. So, I'm got all this medical stuff happening. I've got a kiddo that needs more intense help for all their mental stuff. I've got 3 kids that are in school. During all of this, my son and his girlfriend in the summertime got jobs, so I've been driving them to and from work, and of course they didn't get anything close, so I've been driving half an hour to drop them off, coming back half an hour, because it takes a half an hour to get to their work. So I'm stuck in the car, round trip, an hour, every trip. And I have to do that twice, sometimes 3 times, because they don't have the same schedule or shifts. No. One goes to work in the morning and comes home in the afternoon. The other goes to work later in the evening and doesn't get picked up until, midnight. So it's just a lot of stuff is going on. My health has kind of taken a turn. I've had to change. I've had to change because of the diabetes. I've had to change how I eat. I just found out about the liver stuff this week. And so now I've got to change my diet to fit that into while still taking care of what I need to for my diabetes and my anemia. It's just been kind of crazy, and quite frankly, it's been stuff piled on top. And when I look at it, I'm like, God, why have you not gone crazy with all this stuff happening? Because it's been really intense. The good thing, the positives that have been happening is got my husband's seizures under control. He hasn't had a major seizure since August, which has been great because with the kiddo that's got the mental health stuff that we need to like really watch and keep an eye on, he's been able to help me with that. But it's just been like one thing after another, after another, after another, after another. And during all of this, too, my mother hurt her shoulder. She's a nurse, and she got hurt at work. And so I check in on her and make sure she's doing okay while trying not to give her this nastiness. We have to work in like physical therapy appointments in all of this while taking kids to and from work, and doctor's appointments and all of that other stuff, and psychiatrist appointments, and it's just been like craziness. And during all of this, I've been sitting here for the last week going, should I shave my head? Should I shave it? Because I'm not happy with my hair right now, and I can control this. I loved my shaved head. Should I shave my head? Should I? I'm not going to, because I want to see, like, I've been growing it out since the beginning of February, well, March, because I kept it pretty shaved for most of February and then let it grow out. So this is since March I've been letting it grow, and it's getting pretty long. But that, all this stuff, especially since April, May, June, July, August, dealing with mental health. And every time I feel like, oh, I'm getting a breather, something else happens. And, in March, I bought paint so I could paint my bedroom. And that paint is sitting in my bathroom, waiting to be used. It's going to need some really good stirring. And I just haven't had the energy. My energy levels are slowly starting to go back up. I do think that thyroid medication is helping. I am getting my blood sugars under control. Let me tell you, when she told me that my A1C was an 11, which I'm going to tell you this right now, weight has nothing to do with whether or not you're going to get diabetes. There are factors that play into it, and quite frankly, I have a lot of them with my thyroid not functioning properly, and that helps with how your body manages insulin and all of that other stuff, and processes your sugar. Your liver helps process all of that and get toxins out, and if those two things are not working properly, you're almost guaranteed to get diabetes. And so I've got all of this stuff going on. But I checked my blood sugar, like when she told me. I went to my mom because my mom has extra meters because she's a diabetic. And it was like 368. Now I've got it down to between 140 to 180, and it's going down. And because of the changes I've been making and the medication, that I'm taking for my thyroid, my weight is slowly starting to go down too. Um, I am not, I don't care if my weight changes or fluctuates. I've been at this weight for like ever. Quite frankly, um, I wish that I could have all the health benefits and not lose any weight, just for the simple fact being I don't want to buy new clothes. I don't want to. But I know that's kind of a side effect of getting all my health back is my body is going to start, once it starts getting back to its normal and not feel like it's going crazy. Because right now my body is in a state of chaos with all this stuff that's going on. I know that my my median weight is going to go down as my body gets more back in a line to where it should be. And that is my goal, is to get my body back into a line so that I don't have to worry about things. And I'm in the midst of trying to change doctors. Found out that the doctor that I have had a lot of struggle in getting my test results back from this particular doctor and getting the results and like what they are. And so I'm in the process of trying to change doctors because quite frankly, I have a lot of stuff. I may keep my kids there, but just not having her see me, because kids are pretty easy in the fact that they just need to get shots. And if there's something really serious, I'll go somewhere else for them. But for the basic stuff, I think she'll do fine. But I have more than just your basic issues. And I found out that she has graduated last year. So she's only been, practicing as a nurse practitioner for a year on her own. And I wish I had known that before setting up everything, because then maybe I wouldn't have the struggle that I was having with getting all. I've been trying to get all of my test results back for quite a while, and it's been like a nonstop struggle, total struggle. And I just can't deal with that anymore. I need for being able to get a hold of the doctor to be easy. I need to be able to get a hold of my results easily and not have to fight tooth and nail for it, because that's what it has been to get all my results after my blood work. So for my liver, I got my ultrasound done for my liver on the 1st of September. I had to call and call and call and call and call and call to get my results, and I finally got them yesterday. It should not take 14 days for you to get the results back to your client. So there's that. I had to call and call and call the hospital to get the results of my COVID test. That should not have happened. It's just been, I've had to call and call and call and call to get results back for my other stuff that I had done. And it's just been like kind of a little bit of a nightmare for me, because I should not, I don't know about you, but personally, I think if you're running a business, be it a hospital, whatever, if you have tests done, your doctor's office should call you. I had a mammogram done, and they didn't call me to tell me that I needed to schedule another mammogram because they found something. I got a letter stating that, hey, it's inconclusive. We need you to call and schedule an appointment. And when I made that appointment, nowhere did anybody, or nowhere, no one told me that they were going to be doing not only the mammogram, but if it showed the lump, which I didn't even know there was a lump. They didn't tell me that. that they'd have to do an ultrasound. I also found out that I've got a gallstone in my gallbladder. That was found in the liver ultrasound, because they did the liver, the spleen, your gallbladder, your pancreas, like all of the stuff that's in your stomach. That's what they were looking at. So I'm just trying to like figure that stuff out. I need to find a different doctor for myself. I don't know that I'm going to change it for the kids, which I already said. I'll try not to talk about that, but I'm just kind of like, I don't know. You guys are driving me crazy. I just want for some things to be a little bit easier. Do you guys struggle with doctors? I don't know. It's frustrating. Anyway, my plan going forward for this channel is I'm going to upload at least 1 to 2 times during the month, or more if possible. Every month you're going to have the subscription boxes, but I'm talking about besides the subscription boxes, which there's always going to be Birchbox. There's always going to be there's always going to be Dungeon in a Box. There's always going to be the seasonal subscription of FabFitFun, because I like that box. I love it. It comes every 3 months. Those 3, always. I may purchase some more and try them out. I may not. If you have subscriptions that you like, that you would like to have me try, leave them down in the comment below and I'll check them out and see if it's right for me. Those videos that I'm going to be including, where I'm going to be doing 1 to 2 a month, are going to be including like art projects that I'm working on, cooking, new recipes that I'm trying out. And if you have some good diabetic, I'm trying to do the Crohn's diet because of the inflammation, the enlargement of like my intestine and my liver, and I've been having some digestive issues. I thought I would try doing the Crohn's diet to see if maybe that would help with some inflammation that I've been having. So if you have recipes that would help with that, or that I could try and stuff, just leave them down in the comments below. I'd appreciate that. I'm going to be doing some videos on how I handle my own personal self-care. Any updates like this video, I will do, maybe I'll do monthly updates to kind of see how, hey, this is how I'm doing this month. How are you guys doing? If that's something that you're interested in, please let me know down in the comments. I would really like to know what you guys would like, because if you guys don't like these kind of videos, maybe I won't do them. I've talked with my husband, and although he is not a big YouTube fan, he likes watching YouTube, but he doesn't like doing it, but he does it for me because he loves me. He'll do the subscription box for me. But I've thought about doing like, hey, get to know me, get to know hubby, get to know our relationship, that sort of thing. Because we have been married for 20 years. We've known each other since I was in 7th grade. And maybe we could do something like that. If you're interested in that, let me know down below. I might do some videos of like field trips that we do, places that we go, thrifting videos, because I do go to thrift stores. It's one of my self-care things. They are open, and I've been doing those a lot more. I've been going a lot more and getting things. So I have projects in the making, and I like to collect thrifted things. As a matter of fact, I'll show you. I've got a project here. Bookends. I don't know if you can see her, but it's a little girl. I've spray painted her black because I'm going to be painting her. I've got her little boyfriend too. Their little bookends. And so that's a project that I'm working on. I have purchased some really cute things that I want to revamp and rehaul and use resin with. So um, like I picked this up at the thrift store, and it's gonna hold some of my crafting supplies. And I have a project that is going to include these. I'm so I've got ideas and projects that I want to do, and that is what I'm going to be doing going forward. Just know that I'm only going to be doing them when I've got the energy to do them, and I'm hoping that I can be uploading more on a consistent basis than I have been versus, to kind of get it a little bit more back to where I was before. I really hope that that helps. I haven't been coughing as much today. Yay! I think I'm getting on the mend. Let me know what you guys think. And if you guys want me to go more in depth in some things, I will, but I just kind of wanted to give you like a little life update as to what is going on and why I haven't been uploading as much. It's my health, my kiddos' mental health. My mental health hasn't been so great because I've been dealing with all of this stuff. I mean, quite frankly, I really wish 2020 would kind of give everybody a break and stop with natural disasters and viruses, and if we could just kind of get somewhere back into a semblance of normal. But I know that this is kind of our new normal, and this is just how it is, and I know things are probably going to get worse before they get better. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at and what's going on and what I hope to do going forward. And I hope this video was a little bit helpful in getting to know me a little bit better and the struggles that I'm going through and why it is that I'm not posting as much. So hope this helps, and I will talk at you guys later. Bye.